And welcome again to the Sonya Dungee podcast, where conversation is always the essence of the soul. I am your host, Sonya Dungee, and yes, of course, we are still bringing that heat to the IG, Facebook, YouTube, and now the TikTok streets. Hello. Can you believe we are hours away from 2026? Where has the time gone? In the meantime, I want to be able to see everyone on all platforms so I can acknowledge you properly. So that is what I am doing right now. Let's see. I see you. Welcome. Harlem is in the building. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you always. So tonight, I want you to know how extremely grateful I am for all of the support that I have received in the past 200 plus episodes. I really and truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I just want you to know that I see you, I hear you, and I feel you. And once again, I am so grateful for you. So before we get started, for those that are joining for the first time or will be watching the replay later, um, I just want to take the time to introduce myself properly. So, for those of you who don't know, again, my name is Sonya Dungee, and I am the host of the Sonya Dungee podcast. And I have a story to tell. My story started almost 5 years ago, back on January 23rd of 2021, in the height of the pandemic, on a frigid, cold Saturday afternoon. I was summoned to the Veterans Administration Hospital in Northport, New York. I had already gone earlier in the morning, and at that point, I thought I was saying my goodbyes to my father, something that came totally out of left field, didn't see it coming. Just 48 hours before, not even, there was some medical person that sat in this extremely tiny room and told my father and me that he had 6 months to live. And here I find myself not even 48 hours later saying my reluctant goodbyes to my father. And as I sat by his bedside and holding his hand and staring into his existence, not wanting to be there, not wanting to hold his hand, not wanting to be in the room, not wanting to be at that hospital, not wanting to acknowledge any of it because I knew what the outcome was going to be. And subconsciously in my mind, I thought, well, if I'm not there, if I'm not holding his hand, if I'm not sitting by his bedside, if I'm not staring into his eyes, it's not going to happen. But unfortunately, I witnessed a tear come down my dad's cheek, and it was in that moment he took his last breath here on this earth and his first breath in heaven, and that I know. As a result, I spiraled out of control immediately. I was kicking, I was screaming, I was pleading, I was screaming, don't go. I didn't want to be that one to tell them it's okay to unplug the machine that had my dad going. And for the 342 days that followed, I found myself isolated in a dark place, not knowing if I was coming or going, doing the same thing every day, just enough to survive, leaving my bedroom and walking across my living room into my shisha room to do my tour for the day, closing everything down at the end of the night, walking back through the living room into my bedroom, shutting the door. And that was that hamster or that gerbil on the wheel, if you will, just doing the same thing, just going around and around in circles. The only things that changed was the seconds, the minutes, the hours, the days, the months, and the seasons. I wasn't spending any time with my then 3 beautiful grandchildren. Now I have 4 blessed with. I spent no time with family, no time with friends. My conversations were short to the point on the phone. I was running back and forth to Calverton National Cemetery every chance I got to feel that closeness, knowing that my dad's ashes were behind the Calabarium wall. Again, at Calverton National Cemetery in Calverton, New York. I lost a lot of weight. I didn't even know that I did. I wasn't trying to. Obviously, I wasn't eating. I just wasn't in a great state of mind. And it took 342 days to realize that my willpower alone was not going to cut it for me. I couldn't do it alone. I was hiding how I was feeling from my family because I didn't want to feel selfish and make them grieve any more than they were already grieving. So I thought I was holding it to myself, unbeknownst to me that they knew. They were calling my big sis in Florida and letting her know what was going on also. But when my perspective changed and enough became enough, I knew my dad, who you could see his picture behind me, would not expect that of me. He raised his children a certain way, to be loving and strong. But there was nothing that could prepare me for that grief, that hardship, that isolation, that darkness, that pain, the heartache. Nothing until I made that conscious decision that enough was enough. And I seek the support of my mentor coach and a loving, Be Iconic community to support me, non-judgmental, but just to know that they were there. And that carried me through. And see, my mentor told me he would help me if I was coachable, and if I was teachable, and if I did the work. Because you see, I had to invest in myself. In the beginning, I thought I was showing him, Mr. Darren Walker, I thought I was showing him I could do it. But it wasn't about him. It was about me. Me wanting it, knowing I needed it, knowing I was here for a purpose on this earth, knowing that 4 times over my life could have been taken, but I was still there. And to this day, I'm still here standing. You see, I wanted it because I knew that there was others that were going through what it was that I was going through, and I wanted to be able to help them. I didn't know where to turn to. I didn't know you could watch a podcast. I had no idea what to do. There's no manual. There's no time frame. Nobody tells you how you're supposed to feel. But when I wanted it enough, I did something about it. And here it is almost 5 years later, and I'm sitting in front of you on the Sonya Dungee podcast. And I am now a transformation coach, and I get to help those that are stuck and broken from grief, from hardship, from life challenges, that are suffering in silence with no direction, no end in sight, but who are ready to move forward. And I get to help them become resilient and empowered with an attitude of expectation and excellence to reach their economic independence so that they can be destined for their true greatness and walk fully in their God-given purpose. And I am so grateful for the path and the journey that I have gone on, and that God has Proverb 3, 5, 6 me, showed me the path. And that's what I want to do for all of you as well. And as I go back and forth into the chat, welcome Washington, D.C. Welcome Trinidad. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Welcome North Carolina. And some others that I don't know you. You're new to the Sonya Dungee podcast, but I welcome you and I'm so grateful that you are here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So with that being said, tonight we're going to reflect. We're going to reflect, ask ourselves some really thought-provoking questions, reset and rebuild for 2026. So, if you will, please grab yourself some paper and a writing implement, because trust me, you are going to need it for tonight's episode. You're definitely going to write these things down so that you too can go back and reflect on what is about to come. So in this first segment, it's going to be about reflection. So before we talk about where we're going in 2026, we have to honor where we are right now. So I want you to ask yourself, without judgment, number one, where do I feel I am right now in this moment? Emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And I'm going to repeat them for you as we go along. Where do I feel I am right now in this very moment? Emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And number two, what parts of 2025 am I still carrying what feels heavy? What am I still carrying that feels heavy? And number three, what part of me feels tired? What part of me feels tired? Number four, what part of me feels hopeful? What part of me feels hopeful? And number five, what does my heart need in this moment? What does my heart need in this moment? And I'm reading some of the comments as you're thinking. One is, that's what I need, economic independence. And I can help you with that. All you have to do is be committed to the process and make sure that your needs and your wants are strong, and your willpower and desire to do it is strong enough that you will succeed. Keep the comments coming. I really do appreciate them. So now let's take a well-needed deep breath. There's no right or wrong answer in any of these questions because it's not about me, it's about your truth. So, letting go is our next area. It's time. This is the part that can truly feel uncomfortable, but also freeing. Ask yourself these following questions. What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? Number 2, what habits, relationships, beliefs, or expectations am I ready to release? Again, what habits, relationships, beliefs, or expectations am I ready to release? Number 3, what am I afraid to let go of? And why? What am I afraid to let go of? And why? Give you a moment to think about that. Number 4, who would I be if I gave myself the permission to no longer be afraid? Who would I be if I gave myself permission to no longer be afraid? You see, letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing not to carry weight into the next season. And we've all been guilty of that at one time or another. As we begin to move forward, I want you to remember this. You don't have to color the whole world at once. You just have to start with one piece, one corner. Begin to color your world by saying yes to what supports you, saying no to what drains you, honoring your feelings without apology, creating moments that feel real. Allow yourself to heal. You see, giving yourself grace as you grow is important. And as we close out 2025, I want you to know this. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. And as we did this before, I'll do it again. You see, a broken crayon, it still colors. It still colors. It still colors. And it colors beautifully. Take this all in. Release what no longer fits and step into 2026 with intention, with compassion, and with color. Release the gray days. Invite the blues. Welcome the greens. Be joyous in the yellows. Feel the love of reds. I want to thank you for spending this evening with us here on the Sonya Dungee podcast. I want to thank you for allowing tonight's episode to be a place of reflection, of honesty, and of hope. Until next week, keep coloring your world, even if the crayon is a little worn or broken. You see, you're still creating something beautiful, one crayon at a time. Remember to always be destined for your greatness, for your very best. And don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. The next free Boss Masterclass, a broken crayon will still color. 5 key considerations to move from grief and hardship to changed perspective, to a changed perspection, and a found purpose. A changed perspective, and a changed perspective, and a found purpose. Stay safe. Stay well. God bless you all. And bye for now. Just going to jump back over before we lose the comments also. Give yourself permission to say no. Sometimes all it takes is permission to let go. Amen. Yes. Thank you so much for that comment. I appreciate you. Also, tomorrow will be a New Year's Day pop-up, so be looking for that as well. Bye for now.